Good morning, dear students. Welcome in social science class. Dear students, after 1 month, we are coming back in our studies after your term 1 examination. And whatever you have done in term 1 examination, that was okay. Those who have succeeded, those who have scored good marks, it was quite nice. And those who are still lacking behind, don't worry, you can get more or good marks in next term, but the thing is that you have to little bit work hard. So for the term 2 we are going to start today with the chapter water surrounding the earth, chapter 5. We are starting our next chapter, chapter 5th of geography, and it is our term 2 syllabus and first chapter. That we have already read about the water cycle, which you have read in previous chapters, and we can study in this chapter also a quick recapitulation, we can say that, of a water cycle. So let's start. We have read in the previous chapter that planet Earth is often called the water planet or the blue planet. Why? Just because of the abundance of water or excess water on the Earth's surface. We have already read in previous or the first chapter that what Earth is known as watery or blue planet. Water covers around 71% of the Earth's surface and is present as ocean. In different forms, we can say that we have water, just like oceans, rivers, lakes, underground flow or underground water, glacial ice, and water vapor in the air as well. More than 97% of this realm, or we can say that the area or the topography, we can say that water on the earth is salt water. Salt, or in simple words, we can say that saline water present in the oceans and seas. In oceans, we have always saline water. About 2% is glacial ice, and less than 1% of all water on earth is fresh water in rivers and lakes, which we are using. We can say that the whole world is using only 1% of fresh water. Rest water is not used by human beings in direct manner. Thus, the oceans, namely Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, and Arctic, are the largest reservoirs of water on our earth. Let us study about these principal water bodies, their nature, source, movement, and importance in our life. In this chapter, we can cover in these areas. So first topic, we have the water bodies, or simple, the process of water cycle. Today we will cover this much topic, the process of water cycle. The earth receives major part of pure water through rainfall. In addition, it receives fresh water through numerous springs or waterfalls and rivers. But on the other hand, in simple words, the fresh water source is only a rainfall. The water never remains static. Static means, in simple, in one form or in one place. It should not like. It has a cycle which has neither a beginning nor an end. We don't know how water starts and how it generates and how it can be end, but it cannot be end, it cannot be start. Let us find out in the detail how the process of water cycle works. Here is a diagram. You all have to draw a diagram also when you have to start the chapter. If question is there, then it's okay. Otherwise, you have to draw the diagram also, the process of water cycle. Here we have the different things, the water storage in ice and snow in different manner, surface runoff, how the water is flowing down, water table we have, groundwater, percolation, soil moisture, how the water is taking the soil moisture and just running towards the underground water. Stream flow, how the water is moving from one place to another. River discharge also, it is moving from one place to another and storing on the other hand on the oceans. And here we have the evaporation process. Here rainfall is coming and then water is reserved in different reservoirs, whether it is reserves, rivers, whether it is oceans, and on the other hand we have sunlight. Just because of that we have evaporation. Ev- Evapotranspiration, what does it mean? When the evaporation took place from the trees or the plants, or we can say that on the grass, just like in the form of drops. All right, this is evapotranspiration, when the evaporation took place through the plants. Radiative exchange means when the heat reflects from the earth's surface towards the sky. Here we have evaporation, then we have the condensation process when the clouds are formed, and the transportation of the clouds. And when the two clouds are colliding with each other, then we can say that the rainfall occurs. Precipitation as rain and hail. Hail means a small ball of ice. When the temperature is quite low, then the water droplets can be frozen while falling towards the earth. So this was the table or the diagram, we can say that. Next we have the sun as the main source of energy, as we have discussed, and we know very well the process of water cycle, and you have read in the previous chapter as well, which causes water to evaporate. Hence, water of the ocean is converted into water vapors. Saline water we have in the ocean, and saline water is a very fast evaporated water, we can say that, because it can evaporate very fastly. The saline water, salt water. Water vapors due to the heat of the sun by the process of evaporation. Next, the evaporated vapors rise up in the atmosphere and condenses. That was the droplets, water droplets, and they form and condenses into tiny crystals of ice or drop of water to form clouds. When the condensed ice crystals or water droplets grow in size, when their size will be grow, then they are not able to carry the water droplets, and they will collide, or they can fall into the surface of the earth, and they are unable to float means to travel, and they fall down over the earth's surface as precipitation, that is, in simple words, rainfall. It is because of the never ending circulation that the process is described as water cycle. Next we have a major part of the water runs off over the earth's surface, forming numerous streams. Streams means different river areas. A small part of rainwater percolates. Percolate means seeps or to leak in cracks, when the water travels into the cracks inside the earth's surface, which forms groundwater. Because directly the groundwater cannot be reserved, it can only reserve through the percolation process. The groundwater is a very important source of water for plants. The plants derive the groundwater through their system and return it to the atmosphere in the form of moist air through their leaves. Yes, it is true. When the plants grows, they can take their energy or nutrition from the sunlight as well as from the soil. Right? And water is present in the form of ice crystals in high altitude regions, where we can say that the temperature is quite low, in mountain regions or hilly regions. Thus, we can infer that there is a continuous supply of water to our earth. However, the distribution of water is not uniform. We can say that some areas are having or receiving heavy rainfall. On the other hand, some are not receiving exactly at the same level. That's why some areas having the surplus water and some areas having the scarcity of water. Just because of that, we should make a reservoir, just like we can say that here in the book picture we have water reservoirs, or in simple words reservoir, we can give another name also, the dams, where we can store the water, just because for the facility of the human beings or the other species, Wherever the scarcity of water is there, we can use the water of reservoirs for our daily requirements, and the conserving it several other ways sustain life on the earth. Otherwise it will be very difficult to manage water facilities. The judicial use of water is necessary. Exactly, the proper and rational utilization of water is must, and we should always remember all those things. So we should save this precious natural resource. So this was all about today's topic, that simple the process of water cycle and what exactly its uses, and the concentration of the water wherever the heavy rainfall is there and wherever the low rainfall is there. So you have to read the chapter, and rest exercise will be given to you uh, in your allotted time at 10:30 a.m. So thank you.